Yo, what's up? Joe Cool here, back with another video. I'm gonna take these off. So, I love talking movies on this channel, but I think too often I'm swamped covering big blockbuster new releases that come out so often, and I rarely get to talk about the smaller movies, indie, adjacent sort of stuff. But last night I had 3 viable movie options, and I decided, yeah, I'm gonna pick Booksmart. This film is directed by Olivia Wilde and stars Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein as Amy and Molly, 2 high school best friends who've been primarily focused on studying and getting into good colleges throughout their high school career. They've never really been too keen to live it up. They're very responsible, maybe to a fault. One day, Molly, to her dismay, finds out that all of the losers who partied, who they're always making fun of, got into those same great colleges, Ivy League stuff. So, these 2 friends decide that in one night, they're going to pack a lifetime of partying and prove to everyone that they're more than just Booksmart. Lindsay Ellis, a fellow media critic on this website, once said in a video playing devil's advocate for the Twilight series that our society seems to have a weird thing about maligning teenage girls, so much to the point that even women try to distance themselves from that isolated demographic. And so we sort of project that harmful attitude onto harmless things that are marketed to said demographic. But I'm sitting here as a teenage guy saying I really don't have any sort of hatred for teenage girls. I share about as much in common with them as I do teenage guys, if not more. And if you ask me for some of my favorite movies, you're gonna see stuff like Fault in Our Stars and Mean Girls pop up. So when I saw the trailer for a raunchy R-rated comedy that paid homage to stuff like Superbad while also paying tribute to female friendship, I got pretty excited, and justifiably so, because this was a really fun time at the movies. This film takes this simple premise we've seen countless times before and adds some really nice twists to it, I think. Everything plays out mostly how you'd expect it to, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Just certain moments I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's familiar, kind of predictable. But I think Olivia Wilde in the director's chair really manipulates these familiar moments for maximum effects and adds a lot of unique flair to it. Visually, this film is incredible, probably one of the best looking, least blandly directed high school comedy, teen coming of age stories I've ever seen, really. This also doesn't feel like a film that's just proving it's, the same as the one with the guys. I liked Long Shot with Seth Rogen quite a bit, but it did feel as if they were pushing Charlize Theron as like, wow, look at that. It's this politician, but she's saying rude words, and, she's going to nightclubs and doing naughty stuff. But it did feel very showy, and, it's sort of playing off of what we expect from Charlize Theron in this time in her career. But this film I didn't think needed to prove anything. It felt just very natural. It didn't have to go for that kind of thing. Most likely because it's actually directed by women who actually seem like they get women. So it's authentically female is what I'm trying to say. And I think we're getting a lot more of that now with stuff like Lady Bird and especially Blockers, which is so underrated. You must see it if you haven't. One of the best studio comedies like ever, definitely in recent memory. Anyway, while it's centered on women, I don't think it's going to be like alienating for audiences. I may not be able to relate to admiring my body as a Barbie doll, despite the iffy gender implications of it, or really any of the wacky stuff these ladies do besides study way too much. But I've definitely been this guy before, and I've seen that guy before, and just stuff like that I think really injects the film with a lot of good realism. There's a scene where, the two best friends are arguing and someone's just recording it, and like even though they don't know them, don't like them, they're just and really shouldn't care, they're just recording him. It's like, yeah, that would totally happen in real life. And there's all sorts of stuff like that. And I can be as controlling as Molly, and man, this is why I don't review coming of age movies. Just hits too close to home. At the end of the day, though, we got Carrie Fisher's freaking daughter playing a kooky drug addict who shows up everywhere at every party within seconds, and the soundtrack pretty darn sweet. Yeah, just what's not to love? In all seriousness, please go see this movie. Support all the great things that the people at Annapurna are doing. Thanks for liking my tweet, by the way. I really don't want to see this just crumble under the weight of unimaginative, cash-grabby, CGI-filled, safe films like Aladdin. We really need to open the floodgates again and let films like this succeed, at least. Y'all already saw Avengers Endgame. Please don't see it again. I don't care what Jack's film says. With all that said, I'm going to give Booksmart a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm not quite sure. I'd need to see it again. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you want to check out the rest of my content for some reason, and as always, I will see you in the next video. This has been Ephram Oliver, signing off. Bye.